My name is Gillian, she, her, and I was graduated from Baldwin Wallace in 2019.
Perfect. Awesome. So, yes, you graduated from VW. How did your time here shape you as a performer?
Honestly, like the program made me tough.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
like it truly just I became stronger, um, and in constitution and as a performer.
Very nice. Very nice. Were there any specific classes or professors or experiences here that had a lasting impact on you?
I mean, definitely. I think doing once at the back center my senior year was really informative and ballet boot camp, of course.
Oh my gosh, I've heard about it.
hmm And my voice teachers definitely. I didn't know how to belt until I worked with my voice teachers at school. So,
Very nice. Very nice.
hmm
Um, so Baldwin Wallace has a strong reputation for preparing actors for the industry. So how did the program help you transition from being a student to working professionally?
Totally. I mean, the thing that makes BW such an outstanding program that is our showcase, and I think that everyone who knows anything about the program knows that. We just had such um huge group of industry professionals coming to see us perform, um, who, I mean, many of us are still represented by the people that found us from Showcase. So that was huge. And I got my first big New York auditions all from Showcase and things like that.
That's amazing. Looking back, do you have any advice that you would give to Baldwin Wallace students currently studying musical theater?
Um, ooh, that's a really good question. Um, keep your eyes on the prize and the indus the things you're going to be able to take on because of the program, and the rigor are bigger than you can even imagine so far. Imagine yet. Yeah.
Perfect. So, for the role of Elsa, were there any particular challenges bringing Elsa to life?
Uh, I mean, it's a big thing, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, yes.
That so it's been a lot. I've spent a lot of time um figuring out what I need to do in order to be able to sing the show 8 times a week. And the most exciting part, though, I think with any Disney show is getting to bring humanity to roles that have largely only been seen as cartoons. And that has been maybe not even a challenge, just like a really exciting aspect of this preparing for the role.
Yeah. It's so Frozen is a beloved franchise by many children
Mhm.
and families. How does performing for a younger audience help shape your approach to the role?
It actually doesn't change it at all. It really doesn't. Like it's already Disney. It's already tailored for kids. I mean, even on a Broadway stage, it is still Frozen. It's still Disney's Frozen. And so what we're doing is really not different. It's just the shows are a little earlier, really. But
Yeah.
kids and young audiences don't get enough credit for the things that they can absorb and entertain. So our show is just as mature and just as gritty as any other production. It really is.
I agree with that. I Frozen has a lot of darker themes, I feel
Mhm.
like.
Heavy themes, yeah.
Yeah, heavy themes, especially with the character of Elsa, like a lot of that. I
hmm
think that oftentimes people don't give children or younger audiences enough credit for the things that they can understand. Like they can see
Exactly.
their own experiences in characters like Elsa, like struggling to portray themselves like accurately and like
Yeah.
struggling with that like internal conflict of like I want to be myself, but I think
Yeah.
that Frozen's a great show that represents that struggle. So, what is your favorite moment in the show, if you have one, or like either on stage or even behind the scenes?
Honestly, my favorite moment in the show is when our Olaf is on stage. They are so funny, and their portrayal of Olaf is just truly hysterical. Every time I watch him on stage, I'm like, that's unbelievable. So I it's really, and we just had our like first puppet rehearsal a couple days ago, and it's like it's so dope. I'm so excited about it.
I always love like puppet portrayals in shows
Hmm.
on like live theater. I think that's so cool.
Me
Um,
too. Me too.
I see like Lion King does a lot of puppets for their stuff, and I like seeing the kind of like they use the puppets, but they also still are acting like with their face, and I think
Of course, yeah.
that's really cool to see.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So how does performing in a regional theater setting, like the Children's Theater Company, how does it differ from your previous experiences on larger touring productions?
Honestly, it's really nice just to be stagnant, to stay in one place. And um yeah, to not have to travel is really cool.
Yeah.
And I get to like really become part of the community rather than just, I am here to do my job and I just that will always be the priority, but I get to be here and like plant for several months and make my own life here for a little while, and that feels really nice.
Right. Yeah, I feel like one of the biggest aspects of theater is the community of it. I
Definitely.
think
Yeah.
that's with like a regional setting, I feel like you expressed, like it's a little easier when you're planted down to have
Hmm.
that sense of community.
Totally.
Um, so speaking of larger touring productions, you've previously performed in Dear Evan Hansen.
Hmm.
How did preparing for your roles in that differ from preparing for Elsa? Were there any differences or were there similarities between the two?
Yeah, I mean, I keep getting cast as these very sad girls. What happened? Um, but I can't complain too much. They're very fun. Um, I mean, Elsa again is just like a much bigger sing than anything I really had to do before, which is so exciting and also a little scary. But I mean, the end of the day, it's like sad sibling stories
Yeah.
seems to be my bag at the
You know
moment.
what? Yeah. The more I'm
Yeah,
thinking about it, the more similar the two shows are. At first, I was like, oh, there's probably like a difference between the two, surely. And I'm like thinking about it more, and I'm like, actually, I feel like there's similar themes kind of going on between the two
yeah.
shows.
It's different kinds of grieving, but they're both like grieving kids, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's yeah, they are of course totally different, but there was a lot in terms of uh I did a lot of work with like the seven stages of grief in Dear Evan Hansen, and so there's a lot of that is still um in in rotation in my actor's toolbox
Right.
from that I've used for Frozen as well.
Yeah. Do you find that your techniques for getting into character changed at all between like the tone of the show or just different shows?
Um, they're not no, not I mean, yes, there are like certain things that I have to do a little differently to prepare, but my standard like warming up and getting settled into each show kind of has maintained the same since I became a professional, but I will say it's always growing and changing slightly as I grow and change. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Um, what was it like being a part of a national tour? Were there any like standout experiences from that?
I think with any experience, it's about the people that make it. And I mean, I've been really lucky in that the shows that I've been a part of have massive fan bases. Like Dear Evan Hansen had truly, and probably still does, an incredible fan base. And they are so strong and they keep you going. And Frozen, as soon as tickets went on sale, we almost like completely sold out and have like,
Oh,
already, gotten, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but we've already gotten extension offers, which is
oh my
so cool.
goodness.
Um, um, but it's just like I've been part of shows that people really, really love. And that is all, I mean, I can respect the reverence for the magnitude of what I'm doing. And I think that that makes it more intimidating, but also much more exciting.
Yeah. Um, so you've also done some film work before. You've
Mhm.
portrayed Mary in The Blue Diamond, Regan Turner in Nightmare Diaries. So how does your preparation for a film role differ from preparing for a stage performance?
That's a really good question. You know what? I'm still figuring it out, as I'll be honest. I mean, because my I'm a theater performer by trade, but I'm more and more interested in film as I get older too. And I would say that the basics all remain the same, right? So the way I approach any role has to come from like true authenticity and humanity and reality. And so that will always stay the same. Um, and then it just changes in scale, right? It's like, what are we doing? Who are we working with? And um, it's basically just how big. It's just the size in which you're the space in which you are occupying, the space
Right.
yeah, and that's really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
So having worked both in film and theater, do you have a preference for one of the over the other?
Not really. I think that it's about, again, the people and what you're doing, that and the story you're telling. That, and in either environment, is always the most important thing.
Yeah. What aspects of each do you find most fulfilling? Like, are there different things that you find more fulfilling from stage acting versus film acting, or vice versa?
I think the instant gratification of performing a live theater is unlike anything else. It feels so good, and making people laugh is truly the greatest thing in the world. And so when you're on stage and you get that instant gratification, you hear the laughs in the audience, there's nothing better than that. Um, so, and you don't get that with film. But with film, you get to do different kinds of detail work. Just by the way, if you're lucky, you get multiple takes and you get to try different things in the moment with your scene partner, and that is really cool too. Um, and that you don't get, and you have like people like tending to you, and there's a million people help. I mean, there are a million people helping you in theater too, but you have them right there in your face to like make sure you have what you need in order to tell the best story. And that is really cool. So there are aspects of both that are incredibly fulfilling.
Very nice. So I have a couple more questions for you. What advice would you give to young actors who want to pursue musical theater professionally?
Remember that everyone's career and everyone's professional journey happens on their own timeline. If it's something that you really want, um, then keep your eyes on the prize and just trust divine timing. It's just like everything, everything, everything in its time. And always, always lead with kindness. Everybody in this industry knows everybody, and you will feel yourself. Um, when you're leading with kindness, you'll feel your truest self too. You'll lose yourself in the moments where you feel an urge to be unkind. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, what's something that people don't realize about working in musical theater?
People are nice. People want you to succeed. It's not like for every like horror story you hear, there are, you know, hundreds of really, really wonderful ones. Um, and yeah, like people are on your side. You have people
Yeah.
supporting you.
No, I feel like oftentimes in media, looking at the portrayal of how like auditions go, etc., like it's like kind of seen like it's like almost a stereotype that like the people like the casting directors are
The
mean
mean,
or
yeah.
like yeah, your
No,
competition is mean or like something like that. I did theater all throughout high school and I always thought everybody was nice and we all always wanted to see
yeah,
each other succeed. Obviously I haven't done it in a college setting, but I imagine that it's the same thing for a professional setting.
100%. It's, I mean, honestly, it's scarier in high school and college than it is in the real world. The stakes are a
Right.
little higher, but it's like, but that makes everyone softer in a way.
Right, right. Yeah. Um, where can we keep up with you? Like, where can we follow your journey or where can we see your upcoming projects? Obviously, Frozen is coming up if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. I mean, you could all my handle on everything is at with underscore a underscore GEE because I'm Jillian
Love
with a
that.
G.
Love that.
Um, and yeah, we have, I mean, I've really been on a quite a press tour for Frozen. So even I, like my articles for myself are popping up, which is crazy. But yeah, you can find me there and follow along. Exciting things are in the works. So
Yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
have one last question for you, and this might be kind of
sure.
personally indulgent, and you don't have to
No,
answer
it's
this. I
okay.
don't know if it's like, um, the process of changing into the like famous Elsa dress. Have you gotten into that yet? Like how that's gonna go?
Yes, I was so nervous. The first thing I did when I got the offer was watch like Frozen Let It Go transition compilation, like fail compilations, and truly just was panicking. But we've been practicing and it's starting to look really good and get much like smoother and smoother every time. And we get to have all the mechanisms in the next few days and we'll just be practicing it and but so far so good. Everything's working smoothly so far, and I'm very excited. I think it's going to be really, really exciting.
Yay! Well, thank you so much for coming on to talk with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, it was a pleasure to talk to you.